human hair. Every single year, India collects literal tons of it. And you know where most of it goes? It's shipped right here to the United States.
And get this, for all that hair, the US pays India around $50 million. The story does not end there.
From there, America takes that exact same hair and uses it to build a business worth billions.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question. What on earth is America actually doing with all of this hair?
All right, let's find out. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this whole global trade, we've got to start where the journey begins. And you're probably asking is, where does India even get such a massive quantity of human hair? It all boils down to two main sources. You've got religious devotion on one hand, and then you have the simple daily life of India's absolutely massive population on the other. Okay, so let's talk about that first source, because the scale is it's truly staggering. In Hinduism, there's a religious practice called tensoring. It's where devotees shave their heads at temples, kind of as an offering to a deity. It's a symbol of surrendering your ego, of asking for a fresh start. And we're not talking about a few people. We're talking thousands, sometimes even lakhs, that's hundreds of thousands of people, every single day. And this hair, it's not just swept up and thrown away. Oh no, it is methodically collected. It becomes a sacred commodity. And then, of course, you've got the second source, just the sheer volume of people. I mean, with a population of over 1 billion, just think about it. That's millions of haircuts happening every single day in cities, towns, and villages all across the country. And all of that fallen hair from salons and homes, it's also collected by this whole network of agents, creating a massive, continuous supply. So, once all that hair is collected, do they just, stuff it into a box and ship it off? Absolutely not. It's far from that simple. Now we get to the really crucial preparation phase, where all these raw strands get turned into a refined product. Yeah, before any of this hair can be exported, it has to go through this super meticulous process. First, it's deep cleaned. Then it's washed and dried to get rid of any impurities. After that, well, that's when the really painstaking work begins. Sorting. We're talking separating long strands from short ones, untangling every knot, and making sure all the hair flows in the exact same direction. And all of this leads to the final and most critical step, grading. And this grading process, it's absolutely key, because this is what determines how this hair gets that multi-million-dollar price tag. So how exactly do they set the price? Well, it really all comes down to quality. The experts are looking at 3 main things. First, length. Longer hair is always way more valuable. Second, quality. Is it strong and smooth, or is it weak and rough? And finally, its condition. The absolute highest quality hair is called Remy hair. This is the good stuff. It has all its cuticles intact and perfectly aligned in one direction, which is what prevents tangling and makes it so incredibly sought after. So, based on all those factors, the hair gets sorted into these distinct grades. You've got high, mid, and low. And as you can probably guess, each one of those grades commands a completely different price on the international market. And just so you know, we're not talking about some small niche market here. According to records from 2023, the global trade for just the raw human hair was valued at around $51 million. I mean, this is a serious global business. All right, so once it's graded and sold, the hair is finally ready for its long journey across the world. And believe me, that journey is a logistical feat all on its own. The logistics of this whole operation are just massive. First, the processed hair is packed down tightly into these huge bales and boxes. Then, it's loaded onto cargo trucks and driven to India's major ports. From there, it gets put into those enormous shipping containers, which are then loaded onto massive cargo ships, all ready to set sail for America. And yeah, this is not a quick trip. The sea voyage across the Indian Ocean, up through the Suez Canal, and then across the entire Atlantic can take anywhere from 20 to 40 days before it finally lands on American shores. Brings us right back to our main question. After all that effort, the collection, the processing, that incredibly long journey, what does America actually do with all of this hair? Okay, the answer here is pretty astounding. It's not just used for one thing. This hair becomes a vital raw material in multiple, completely different fields. We're talking fashion, medicine, heavy industry, even scientific research. All right, first up, the most obvious one, the fashion industry. This is where that super high-grade Remy hair goes. It's used to make these premium wigs and hair extensions that you can dye and style just like your own natural hair. But it's also used for ultra-realistic eyelashes and eyebrows, for a market that really demands that authentic look.
Then you have the medical field, and this is where the hair makes a truly profound impact. It's used to create specialized wigs and medical-grade hair pieces for cancer patients who are going through chemotherapy, for burn victims, and for people with conditions like alopecia. It really helps restore confidence and a sense of normalcy for people who are going through some incredibly difficult times. Okay, and here, this is where it gets truly mind-blowing. Industrial use. You see, human hair is incredibly strong, and it's also excellent at absorbing oil. So it's literally packed into these things called booms and mats that are used to clean up major oil spills in the ocean. It's even used in specialized filters and as a type of eco-friendly insulation. How wild is that?
So think about it. What starts as a religious offering or just sweepings from a salon floor is completely transformed by American ingenuity into a vital resource. And that's how a $50 million import becomes the literal foundation for billion-dollar industries in fashion, medicine, and technology, creating jobs and products that touch our lives in ways we'd probably never even imagined.
Look, the global trade in human hair is just one of these hidden economies that shapes our world. And in our next explainers, we're going to be diving into even more shocking and unexpected trades. I'm talking about things like countries that import live bees, entire beaches made of imported sand, and even the wild business of harvesting icebergs. You won't want to miss it.